The anti-Brexit activist lawyer Julian Moam has once again embarrassed himself, this time on live TV. Oh dear God, yes, Julian is back. I know he's blocked me on Twitter, but every now and then we keep seeing him on TV because the mainstream media love him. This time it backfired. So he decided, look at his face, oh dear. Julian decided to go on ITV's Good Morning Britain. And the debate was, because he's one of the idiots who's said, well, we should, over 120 lawyers have come out to say, we will refuse to prosecute the eco militants and vandalizers. And basically the people who are causing trouble, from Just Stop Oil activists to, what's the other one, Insulate Britain and Extinction Rebellion. When they commit crime, when they get arrested by the police and they go to court, people like Julian said, we're not going to prosecute them. Then he was one of the people who basically said this, and we already did a video on this the other day. It showed that he can't because he's a tax lawyer. You're not even part of PCS. But virtue signaling aside, he went on GMB, Good Morning Britain, and the debate was to get the viewers of ITV viewers to say whether they agree with him or not, and on other issues as well. This is absolutely hilarious. Let's watch it together.
The question that comes out of your very passionate argument is that you don't think Joe should be a barrister.
If you can't maintain independence, then no, this is the wrong career for you. We don't have a right to have our opinion. When we walk into those court buildings, we are there as the voice of the client. We don't have the luxury and the opportunity to voice our own opinions.
Joe?
And if we can't have an independent bar, there's no point to a bar at all.
Job, Joe.
Absolutely spot on. But on a very different level, similar to those who have to be impartial and professional, the rule of law should equally apply to everybody. And if you're a lawyer, then you shouldn't really become an activist. Everything is about activism these days. Healthcare professionals, activism, medical experts, so-called scientists, activists, lawyers, activists, civil servants, activists. You now have some police officers who are activists. Everybody's an active teacher. Some teachers are activists. But she's absolutely right. Let's see what he has to say.
You're in the wrong job. Well, Grace is perfectly entitled to express her view. Her view is a very conventional view about what the function of the law is. But I think that sometimes the laws are so unjust that they should not be upheld by anyone.
Well, we've heard...
Hang on. Yes, I agree in principle that some laws are either unjust or wrong or outdated. What you do is you become a member of parliament and become a lawmaker and you change the law. You don't really create an obstacle. The thing is, these people, luckily, all these so-called activists who are supposed to be doing something else, they're not becoming MPs. I mean, some of them are in the Labour Party, but they don't really have that much power in Parliament, although en masse they do, because you remember the days of Brexit negotiations? The whole House of Commons became the cabal of pro-EU idiots. That does happen, but they're not really proactive to come and change the laws themselves. So they bring down statues around the country to erase history without going through legal mechanisms. This is more dangerous. Or rather, if they go through the legal route and change the law, and of course with legal consent and the consent of the populace. But they don't really care about that. Anyway.
both sides of the argument. So you are the judge and jury in this. We asked in a Twitter poll what you thought, and 73% said no, we should not stop prosecuting eco-warriors.
Nearly three-quarters. So you're pretty much out on a limb. But thank you for coming in and making your case.
Yeah, thank you both.
And thank you for making yours.
Very much so.
Those arguing for change are always out on a limb.
Well, OK, and sometimes they're wrong.
I love Richard Maley sometimes. Sometimes he annoys me, but sometimes it's quite hilarious. It's like, I mean, actually, on this, he's gone full on Alan Partridge, as usual. But he's right. So he was like, well, you lost. Thanks for coming on the show anyway. And he also said, well, sometimes, you're just wrong. And absolutely beautiful. Anyway, we always talk about our movement, new media, against the complacency and bias of the mainstream media. I want to expand our movement with your support. If any of you are interested, I want to basically increase and empower citizen journalism and street journalism, as I call them. If you want to get in touch, get involved with the channel, you can become a contributor and also one of our reporters, and you get a lot of perks in return. So I'm not going to promote slavery here. Feel free to email me at tousitv@outlook.com. And basically what I want to do is any of you from across the country, different counties and different areas that we have, there are still a lot of stories that even we are missing. I'm trying my best to obviously bring you guys all the news stories that the mainstream media are not talking about, especially when it comes to what's happening on a local level with net zero agenda, with the low traffic neighborhoods, 15-minute neighborhoods, and ULEZ and everything else, but other issues as well, the policing scandals. If you have anything that you find out in your local area or in your county, feel free to join us as a contributor. You can also feature on the channel if you want as a reporter, and you can actually be on the channel with me. tousitv@outlook. Just send me your details and we'll have a chat on email and I'll give you more information. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mahyar Tousi and we are the media.